Hey, how's it going out there in Outlaw Nation? What a weekend of Outlaw pulling. Of course, it's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. time for Outlaw Live. Check in, send us a comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. Tell us where you're going to be this summer if you're going to go to some Outlaw events. We want to hear from you out there. But first thing we're going to talk about tonight is Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Colbert, Oklahoma, inaugural event. Full pull on the turf. Expectations, you got some nervous expectations going in, Mike. Worried for the promoter, first time event. We know it's always a risk. Promoter always takes the risk. But wow, the people came out. The Wagers were, over the top in everything they did. They fed the pullers, but four different times, steak dinners and fish and seafood and pizza, and amazing facility. Track was great. Lots of pullers, lots of fans. I think we accumulated some new fans to the sport of pulling this weekend. I've seen a lot of comments on social media saying it's the first time they'd ever been to a truck and tractor pull. Wow, what an experience, an amazing experience. No negatives, all positives. And give me your takeaways. I'm still kind of geeked from the weekend.
I love what you're doing because it's just looking for the place where it's like, okay, where do I stop going on about, the reasons this pulls a success? And you just continue to bring up more and more, great aspects of it. I don't think we should beat around the bush too much. I think let's be honest with this. First year event, the number one question was, what's the fan turnout going to look like? And it was $40 a ticket. It was a premium pull at a higher than standard price. And people were curious, what's going to happen? We know we're pulling out all the stops, but is it going to work? Ron, Friday night was standing room only. Saturday night was shoulder to shoulder. We were truly, just from some of the places we needed access to make sure that we were able to do our job. We were having to rope off little walkways and whatnot because the crowds were so, not only were they packed, but they were enthusiastic. This was an area of the country that absolutely fell in love or rekindled their love for truck and tractor pulling. And fans, this is not hyperbole. It was a packed house and it was worth every cent to be there. Everything was done top notch. We talk about the facilities and we talk about, all the hard work, but the pull itself, the pullers took care of business and they did their jobs. Ron, we could spend 2 hours just going over the narratives of what we saw happen on the track, tonight. We had weekend sweeps. We had people grab first career wins with the Outlaws. We had people grab their first wins in 5 years. We had someone continue a winning streak. We had classes won, first puller, middle puller, last puller, walk-off wins. I can't think of anything that as a pulling fan or a pulling announcer that you hope for this or that or whatever. We got all of it. We had mega passes. It checked every box. And that was just the show on the dirt,
Yeah, it was definitely
perfect.
It was a good time had by all. And like you said, the $40 admission price, there was some nervousness about that. Not that we don't think the pulling is worth $40, just nobody is really charging,
Sure,
what it's worth. Guys, nothing is cheap these days. Everything goes up, but the ticket price to go to a tractor pull has not increased by much at all, has not stayed consistent with inflation and the cost of living and things like this. The cost of parts, the pullers aren't making a living off this. This is their hobby. It's an expensive hobby. But I have to give it kudos to the Wagers. He stood firm on that price, and not anywhere on any of the comments did I see anybody say it was too expensive. Everything that I saw was, wow, what an amazing show. Event of a lifetime. Folks that have never been to a tractor pull said they didn't know this kind of thing existed, and we're just blown away. And it just made you feel good about our sport.
And I want
all these new and how excited they were.
And I want to send a huge thank you and a tip of the cap to the fans themselves for believing in us, because it's very easy to get on the different forums and the different chat hotlines. And you'll see people saying, I'm never going to spend more than $15. I'm never going to spend more than $20, $25. But these Outlaw fans, first-time pulling fans or diehards, regardless of what it was, said, okay, we trust you. We believe in you. Here's our hard-earned money. Here's what we bust our backs for, and we're going to give you a shot. And they did it. I think our pullers responded, and I think they gave them every last value. And the proof's in the pudding, because we showed up and had even more people on Saturday night. But kudos to you fans for putting your trust in us, the Outlaws, to provide for you the show that you expected at that price point. And I'm going to speak on your behalf and say that you were not disappointed, because as an announcer, that's what we do. We interact with crowds. We kind of get a feel for the crowd. Ron, I felt every single person there Friday and Saturday was having a rocking time. I think you would agree with that statement.
Yeah, and the crowd was, they were excited both nights. A great crowd, a responsive crowd. I had a blast. I had a blast, and the whole weekend, I couldn't help thinking, this is a destination event from this point on. This thing can get better and could be massive. In 10 years, people could be talking about Colbert, Oklahoma, like, it's a normal thing, like we talk about, say Rock Valley or over on the NTPA talking about, Toma or, Bowling Green. It's gonna be a common name in the pulling world, I think, soon, because I don't think Lacey's done. I think he wore himself out making this a great event. And I don't think he's done. I think the folks down there in the area, the county, I've seen a lot of comments about greatest thing to ever hit, this county and this town and this area and things like that. I think the community embraced that event this past weekend.
And I love what you say about other pulls. I know I got some phone calls Saturday morning, and Wisner and Rock Valley and folks, we talk about pulls like they're living, breathing entities. So we're talking about the board members or whatever, but Wisner and Rock Valley already kind of stopped in their tracks, and they said, whoa, what's going on down there? And I think we can go beyond the outlaw world. And I won't guarantee it, but I wouldn't be shocked if in the boardrooms in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and Hillsboro, Wisconsin, and Bowling Green, there aren't some people saying, what the heck just happened down in Oklahoma this last weekend? Ron, let's tell them about it. What were some of your favorite stories? We keep talking about what a success it was. Let's let some of the listeners who didn't get a chance to look at it, and folks, I imagine you did, because the social media footprint was awesome, but what were some of your favorite stories that you saw down there, or what was it on the track that made it such a success, in your opinion?
The crowd that was there made it electric, I think.
Yeah.
It was in the air. To see some of the really good passes in the mod tractors, the two-wheel drive on Saturday night, to see Tanner Fitzsimmons and Cameron Pascal get in the top three in two-wheel drive, to see Evan Breheim, one of our guests on tonight, get his first outlaw win on Saturday night in the Limited Pro Diesel pickup class, and to see the pullers that come out, the amount of pullers that came out. Huge thank you to every puller that came down. And I don't think you had any disgruntled pullers at all either. I think they all had a really good time in Colbert, Oklahoma as well.
Yeah. I think you got to give a shout out to Marty Selman, who has been due for a win for years, 2 or 3 years. He hasn't grabbed a win the way that he's wanted to, and he came out and swept the weekend. Richard Morris getting back in the winner's circle the way that he can. And some good old-fashioned Texas versus Texas heavy hitters in the mod class. We are in for something special with the brand new Bullbuster and the new and improved Cotton Candy slugging it out back and forth this season, with Cameron Neves taking a sweep on the weekend, but Bullbuster being right on his heels. And don't count the triple Chevys out either, because they are just a few inches behind. We're going to see something really cool developing in the mod class this year, and they were on their A game this weekend in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you hit it on the head there with the mod class. Alex Divert beat the boss on Saturday night. He doesn't have that many passes down the track, but I think the more impressive he did was Friday night.
Sure.
That tractor was light on the nose. He did a good job of keeping that thing under control. It was going every which way but straight. The front end was going straight up. I thought he did a great job there on that modified class Friday night.
Something that doesn't get enough appreciation in truck and tractor pulling. It's easy to look at the app and say, well, so-and-so got 7th place or 8th place or last place. They must have had a really bad night. Sometimes those are your best jobs driving, because a lot of times those are the passes that get wild in a hurry, and the driver is actually able to salvage that run and keep it in bounds. And that's where, exactly like you talked with Alex, that's some of the most impressive driving that you see out there, because to a less experienced driver, or to a driver that maybe doesn't save that run, that tractor goes out of bounds and they get no points at all. So salvaging that run. Now, it was kind of interesting. We talked to him on Saturday, and he said that he had made a weight adjustment, and then the boss man made a weight adjustment, and they forgot to communicate to each other that they which says they both knew what they were doing. It was a good job. They both understood, like, oh, that needs one on the back, and they both kind of beat each other to it. And it wasn't until they got back and counted later on that they realized, wait a minute, we double dipped on that. And so, in case you guys are curious, I think that is what happened on Friday, and the reason that he was pointed to the blue Oklahoma sky there for a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. A little bit nervous, but
yeah.
Robert Miner said it's going to be hard for other outlaw shows to beat. Every outlaw show has its claim to fame. What it's famous for. The competition is good. I mean, competition makes us better. It really does. And what you said earlier about, some of these bulls going back to the boardroom and saying, hey, what can we do to make ours better? What can we do to get that buzz that they had in Colbert? Well, those are good conversations to have, because when you don't have those conversations, you're just stagnant. Always strive to be better. That's what makes competition great, is you see the competition doing something great, then you say, hey, what can we do to step it up? You know what I mean? So yeah. I like competition. I like what it does. And of course, all these outlaw pulls, we're all family, we're all friends, but they still compete for that pull of the year, that hook of the year, things like that. Because they want to be best. They want to step it up and be on their A game and be recognized for that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Steel sharpens steel. Like you said, we're all the same family, make everyone better. Random side story I want to tell our friends really quick, that is an off the track side story, but was fun. And I don't think you and I got to enjoy it enough, but I know that it was quietly fun for you and I, being kind of historians in the sport the way we were. We got to chit-chatting before the pull on Saturday, and we said the Johnson brothers that used to own the Oklahoma Showdown, where were they from? And we discovered they were from Perry, Oklahoma. And as our travels would have it, we actually drove through Perry on the way home. Of course, they didn't have any Oklahoma Showdown T-shirts. I was hoping they would, but that would have been cool. But tell the world what else that I found when I did a quick Google search of where the where the Johnson brothers were from. And Google AI filled in, and it didn't say, well, I don't know where the Johnson brothers are from, but I can tell you where the biggest motorsport in Oklahoma is. And it said Colbert, Oklahoma. This was less than 12 hours after the first pull. Google AI had auto that said the most historic and largest pull in Oklahoma is Colbert, Oklahoma. So fun little, there, even Google AI was getting on the fun.
That's right. I love it. How are the temperatures? It was hot and windy, but the wind had a little bit of, it wasn't that hot blackness wind, but the wind never stopped. It was a constant. You might as well have had a big fan blowing. It never stopped. It wasn't breezes. It was just a constant blowing. It was hot. I mean, if you had to work in a trailer, which we did some, in and out, it got pretty warm. And of course, wearing shorts and T-shirts and you're sweating, that red dirt dust would stick to you. But it was all worth it. It was an amazing event.
It truly, the temperatures were not something I feel would deter a fan, and it didn't deter the fan. I've been sure it's Oklahoma, it's going to be hot. Not to discredit Oklahoma's heat intensity, but I've been to hotter pools. Don't let that scare you away.
Absolutely. Wakers took a gamble on light limited pro going out far south. A lot of Nebraska and Iowa and Missouri tractors, and the Texas Hot Farms, which is basically the same class. And we even saw a Texas tractor win on Saturday, wasn't it? A Texas tractor that won on Saturday.
Yes, it was the Red Mule with Sandbothy got out of there with a win. Was the test puller, first puller of the night over on that orange sled. Watched 13 other vehicles come after him, and he held on to that lead. I love it when the Texas guys, Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling Association has been a great addition with the Outlaws. I love that they're member states, and I love when their guys and our guys can get together and kind of slug it out. Another great thing that made Colbert perfect for that. But definitely tip your hat to the LLPs out of Nebraska and Iowa coming all the way down there. But it's a reflection of how serious they take it. You know, it'd be easy to look at that class and say, that's a regional level class. Not with the Outlaws. That's a national level class, and they're willing to travel to national level pulls. And they put on a whale of a show. We saw Iowa guy, Nebraska guy, Texas guy, 1, 2, and 3 in a great balance both nights.
Yeah, there was 14 in competition on Saturday. Sandbothy has to be extremely excited about winning that. Of course, Pro Stock 4 before we had 17 tractors or 17 trucks. Marty Selman sweeping the weekend there. Light Limited Pro, we said Sandbothy won on Saturday. And of course, I'm using the app, folks. If you don't have the app, you should have it by now. 3.0 diesel pickups. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I just want to tell the fans, go out on social media and check out Marty Selman's interview if you can find it from Friday night. That truly, and that not just for the hype factor, but that's a man. If that doesn't make you love pulling, Marty Selman just allowed the positive emotions to, I don't want to say overwhelm him, but, he allowed them to be on full exposure. If you'd ever told me that there was a point where Marty Selman would be more invigorating with a crowd than a Tyler Slaw, I'd said you're crazy, because up to that point, that's the craziest interview I've ever done was with a Tyler Slaw. But Marty truly just was the happiest man in Oklahoma for 48 hours. And I can't express how happy I am for him. You should go watch that video if you can find it, folks, or just find the picture. There's a picture out there, says 1,000 words. And not to steal your results there, because we want to hear those, but watch that video if you can find it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a man who deserved to win.
Yeah, I was kind of putting the cart before the horse. I'm going to go back to Friday night. Charlie Hines did a repeat of last year. Now, this is the same weekend as what White
Right.
Thunder and the Lone Star was. And Charlie Hines, running wild Texas style, brought it home Friday night last year. In White Ride, he brought it home Friday this year in Oklahoma, close to home there. The Texas, the Light Limited Pro on Friday night. Derek Gira, underrated 2, took the win in Light Limited Pro. Pro Stock Semi was one.
That thing will sneak up and win.
Yeah. Super Stock Diesel Truck, Optimus Prime, Preston Collins. Swept both diesel pickup classes with the same truck. Those of you who don't know, that truck can transform from between a limited pro to a pro stock to a super stock. He has 2 sets of tires. He has 3 different turbochargers, and all he does is change gearing. He has the gearing, and changes the gearing and turbo, fuel settings, and tires, and goes out and pulls in one of those 3 classes. He pulled 2 classes that night and won both. The Diesel 3.0, same thing. Modified tractors, Cameron Neves swept the weekend with the Cotton Candy, winning both nights. Pro Stock on Friday night was the all-new Wide Loose Steer, Kyle Pedley, and the old Wide Loose Steer, which is now the Wheelin' Dealin' Deer, took runner-up on Friday night, and Kurt Koima took 3rd with 8 seconds. That was 3 Pedley tractors running 1, 2, 3 on Friday night in Pro Stock. And 2-wheel drives, Richard Morris had the walk-off win in 2-wheel drive on Friday night. That was exciting. That was fun. Saturday night, Light Limited Pro, we talked about that. That was Brian Sandbothy. Pro Stock 4 before was Marty Selman. 4-wheel drive on Saturday night was Murray Thornton, defending points champ with the Thumper. Diesel 3.0, Evan Breheim got his first outlaw win in limited pro diesel pickups with no limits. Superstock diesel truck Sentinel Prime takes the lead or to win there on Saturday night. Modifieds, Cotton Candy, we talked about that. Pro Stocks on Saturday night. Dave Rosaboom with 8 seconds. Man, that thing was a missile on Saturday night. Beat the rest of the field by 6 feet. Had 6 feet on the competition. That thing was flying.
Not that the new wide loose deer isn't the story, because that deserves its day in the sun. But to me, the story from the pro stock class this weekend, and one of my top 3 or, even maybe top story on the weekend, is the Saturday night victory by the 8 seconds machine. When you look up perfection in pulling, that's the run you're going to see. And that whatever happened or whatever they did, whatever they got right, they did not miss a single thing on their setup. That was kind of one of those, that tractor, we've been curious, does it have it in there? And boy, there it was. And that thing just took off. That was something special to behold. Watch out, world, because if that one's right too, now all of a sudden we've got another major slugfest up there in the 10,000 pound pro stock class.
Yeah, it's fun. It's going to get interesting here this summer, Mike. 2-wheel drives, David Hunt, Shameless, leading the points there. John and David Hunt, that truck going to be tough to beat this year in 2-wheel drive.
Yes.
Loved seeing Tanner Fitzsimmons get a top 3 finish there.
Yeah.
Sweet Heat, and Cameron Paschal getting second, a runner-up spot there on Saturday night too. Congratulations to those guys. And semis, Pro Stock semis, Richard Darr swept the weekend with one bad binder as well. So, if you weren't there, you missed out. I think somebody in an interview the other night, I think you were interviewing somebody, said if you're missing out, you're missing out. That's exactly what happened this week.
Yeah, that's exactly. I remember you liking that. I think it was Murray Thornton. I think Murray Thornton said that. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be here, because if you're missing out, you're missing out. That's pretty accurate, bud. That's either him or Lane, but yeah, that was spot on. So,
yeah, Zook Fukerberg damaged his tractor on Thursday night with a test hook. Now, a lot of people saw that hook on Thursday. They saw no crowd in the stands because it was Thursday. There was no pull. There was just a few test hooks. But looked to be a pretty successful test hook, but they did something. He sent me a picture here a little bit ago that let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah, and that's such a bummer because
or it might have dropped a valve or something there. Yeah, there's some damage in the head.
I know that they have had gremlins with that, and they've been a believer in their new setup with the turbochargers. And then Thursday night, just on a test hook, all the stars aligned, and it lit awesome. And we thought, okay, here we go. This tractor's ready to be a player. And then come to find out, some damage was done. So certainly a bummer for them, but a moral victory nonetheless on Thursday night.
Well, hey, we can talk about Colbert for the full hour here, but we are getting ready to unleash July. Outlaw pulling on the fans here, and it's going to get super busy for you and I and the rest of the Outlaw crew, Mike. So kicking us off in July here, 4th of July show. Well, it's actually a 3rd of July show in a 4th of July town. We've got Kirk Hain on here from Seward, Nebraska. Kirk, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, guys. Good. Thanks for having me.
You betcha.
Hey, let's talk about Seward. Have you ever had a tractor pull at this event before?
We did, actually. It was in 2011, and Bill Schmidt put it on at our fairgrounds. I've worked for Bill for 20-some years, so I helped at that time too. And then it kind of just never took off. It was a great pull. We had a great turnout. So we just decided to try something again, and Bill's obviously helping a ton again with us. My dad was on the fair board for several decades, and I took his spot, so our fair board's kind of putting it on with the help of the Schmidt guys. So we're looking forward to it.
Now give us the lowdown on this event. I keep hearing this is like the 4th of July celebration location in the country here. Tell us the story about Seward, Nebraska and the 4th of July.
Yeah, no, it brings in I don't know how many thousands of people every year. I mean, it's huge, and obviously with America's 250th, it's going to be the biggest one yet. They're saying, and I'm sure it will be. It's there's events going on July 3rd, July 4th, all day. I mean, there's things going on all over town. It's huge and brings thousands and thousands of people. Yeah.
So is this like a fair? Is there like rides and midway and things like that there too?
Yeah, there's a midway, July 3rd and July 4th uptown. It's not on our fairgrounds where the pool is. Our county fair is actually a couple weeks later, like the 23rd to the 26th. We'd like to have the pool during the fair, but we ain't got enough room to make all that happen. So what else better would be why there's so many people in town to have it on July 3rd, the night before the big event in Seward. So that's why we picked that day, I guess. So.
Okay, we're gonna look at the pool flyer here. You can find this on social media. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes, 3,200 RPM super field, super farm. Of course, you're going to have super farm. If Bill Schmidt's there, we got to have super farm.
Yeah.
And pro stock, light limited limited pro stock tractors. That's 4 ones. Light limited modifieds, and naturally aspirated 2-wheel drives. That's a pretty good mixture of smoke and noise there. I think the fans are going to be happy with the classes.
Yeah, the community seems like we're getting good feedback. I think we should get a good crowd. We're sure hoping.
And I know Kyle Petch, the Petch family's going to bring their twin turbine tractor out there, make an exhibition pass as well. Since he lives so close, he's like right down the road. He can just about drive the tractor up there.
Yeah.
Now, the way I understand this too is you guys bring in several, tourists or travelers out there on I-80. I drove through town a couple weeks ago and it said, America's 4th of July destination. We could have another prime scenario right here where we gain a lot of brand new pulling fans, because there's a lot of people who are coming here for the 4th of July destination. And with this pull already going on, do you anticipate a huge crowd that's just going to say, hey, tractor pull, we're here, let's go check that out? That should work well. It's going to be fun to see what their reaction is. So how far do people travel to your get together like this? Do you have people that come coast to coast, or how does it pan out?
Oh yeah. There's people from all around the country that come in for the 4th of July. We go uptown every year, and the streets are full. There's a big, huge car show. You name it, it's in town. So I think the stars align, especially this year with so many people. I'm hoping it's going to be a little warm, but I would hope we have a huge crowd. I'm hoping. So we'll find out. It'll be
fun. It'll be fun to see how many of those crowd members are Central Nebraska folks that see our product and see our pulling all the time and love it, and they're diehards, and how much of that crowd are first-time viewers that we know are going to fall in love with it, because that can always make for a great experience, and that's a great way to grow the sport too. So big, thank you to you guys for bringing us in there to do this. So should be another electric crowd, Ron, a mix of those diehards and new fans, much like what we had in Colbert.
Now, Kirk, I know you probably have a lot of fireworks set to go up on Saturday night. Will they be singing any fireworks Friday after the pull?
Oh gosh, that town it lights up. It's already lighting up in the evenings now. They started selling fireworks on Thursday night, I think, and it's every night it's booming. If you just look up, there's fireworks everywhere. So, there'll be a fireworks show. There'll be tons of fireworks. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's funny. Anybody I talk to and I tell them, we got a new pull in Seward, Nebraska. And they're like, Seward? You mean they have a huge 4th of July celebration out there? Everybody knows it for that. So the reputation precedes you out there. So anything people need to know before they come, admission price and things like that?
Yeah, no, it's $10 at the gate. 5 and under are free. We're going to have a beer garden. The beer garden will open up into the grandstands, so you can any fenced-in area is a beer garden basically, and we'll have some food trucks close by, 2 or 3. There'll be food. Should be it's shaded area. There's lots of trees, so by 6 o'clock everything will be in the shade. It'll be warm, but it'll be shaded. It'll be nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Of course, all 5 classes competing for national points. 3 of the classes are competing also for the Organic Sweet Points, Limited Pro Stock, Light Limited Mod, and Super Farm, all competing for Organics Summer Sweet Points there in Seward as well. We're looking forward to it. I know the folks that can't make it, they're going to be watching. They're going to be glued to their TV sets watching on Full Pull Live. Kirk, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for choosing the Outlaws this year. We're looking forward to a big show on Friday night.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Us too, guys. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
Thanks. We'll see you Friday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know they're excited over there in Seward to bring the Outlaws in there.
Yeah.
And more fireworks, man. That's something we didn't talk about, the fireworks displays down in Colbert, Oklahoma. Wow.
$10 tickets too, for the people in the heart of Nebraska who, maybe see some more pulling, or for maybe some people that $40 price point just wasn't a good fit for them. We understand that and respect that. That's what I love about pulling. It is the promoters have that freedom and flexibility. $10, folks. You're not going to see outlaw pulling, for go see this one. That right there ought to be enough to motivate a ton of fans. It should be a great atmosphere. And these are 5 classes that are very, very competitive, all in their own right. Like you said, a good mixture of smoke and noise at this. This should be a really fun Friday night in Central Nebraska. I think it's about Central Nebraska. I struggle with my Nebraska geography, but I'm trying to get it honed in. I think we're at about South Central Nebraska somewhere.
Eastern Nebraska yet. Nebraska's pretty long, so it takes you a little while to get out there to get to Central Nebraska.
It's a long ways from home, and I know it's not in Missouri, so I'm just throwing darts until I get there at that point.
That's right. Hey, I want to see if I can, now that I'm using 2 screens tonight, if I can screen share Saturday night's winners, and we'll segue into our next guest here. I can show this video on Saturday night. Let's see here.
I have faith in you, Ron.
I'm working on it. Usually works for me. Usually works. And I have both screens. You can hear it. Can you hear it?
I don't think we've got it. Oh, here it is. I can see it now.
Yeah, let me start it over here. There we go. Saturday night Flyers and Colbert. And with that, we will bring on our next guest.
Definitely.
Evan
Hi, guys.
Breheim out of Sedalia, Missouri. First outlaw win, limited pro diesel pickups. Man, how's it feel right now?
It was unreal when it happened. I didn't think it was going to stick, but it was sure nice.
Pro diesel pickups down there. But you've been close. I mean, ever since you had that truck done, you weren't far off the mark. You just you hadn't put it all together till now, and you had a really good run. Everything was working right for you. Good run on Friday night and Saturday night. It was in the cards for you. What did you think of the track down there this weekend?
Oh, I thought it was pretty good, really. I just been working on my driving, trying to come out of the hole better. I think that was the main thing I've been trying to work on. And I think if I do that, what I did Saturday night, it should be pretty good. If I can,
you took a commanding lead. I'm kind of calling my memory and looking over at the app here. Third place was Jeremy Bales in the Optimus Prime at 321.1. You were sitting out there at 329.6. So I remember you really blew it out the back door, pushed that leader flag out there. But then you had Skylar Leaper, the final hook of the night, and he was hooking and cooking. Now, once all that dust settled and you were able to see, you won by just over a foot. I mean, did you have a moment there saying, "Oh, Skylar, come on, man," or did you feel that lead was safe the whole time?
I didn't know. I didn't know at all. He came down through there and he was moving. I was like, it's going to be close. That's all I knew.
And then once you're able to come over there, I know you guys came over there, that some of your family came over there and actually checked at the announcer stand and said, "Hey, Breheim's got it." What goes through your mind when you hear something like that?
I don't know. It's just crazy. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but that night it was pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to ask the question because I know that you 3.0 diesel guys are always ribbing each other and giving each other a hard time. The No Limits name, was that a play on the legal limits where he's limited and maybe you have no limits? Tell us where you got the name.
Well, it wasn't real intentional, but there's no limits with that one.
Right. So now you used to pull Pro Stock 4 before, like your dad. What made you switch?
Oh, I've always wanted to build a diesel truck, for a long time, and I just finally decided to do it.
Did you have a brother that pulled as well? Am I imagining that?
My younger brother did years ago. It's been a while. When we pulled around home and stuff, they would do some.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the Pro Stock 4 before when you come out with the diesel. I remember I had to double check because wait a minute, is this right? And because you guys always pulled the gas truck, a family thing. What got you into pulling? I'm sure it has something to do with your dad pulling. But.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Dad got one. After a few years him doing it, that silver truck I had in the Pro Stock class, it was in the Super Street class around here, which is basically a stock truck. Cast iron intake, cast heads, leaf springs in the rear. That's just how it started. It had an automatic in it too when we started.
Oh yeah.
So then we moved it all the way up to the Pro Stock class.
So does your dad ever give you a hard time? Him being a diehard gasser guy, you starting there and then moving over with the diesels, and in his mind, are you on the dark side, or is there a rivalry within a rivalry between you and the gas guys, or talk?
Yeah, they poke at me a little bit. We're still good friends with a lot of the guys in the Pro Stock class. So when I see them, they're always, poking at me about jokes and stuff. But,
dollars to donuts, and don't hold back. Which class is more fun to drive in?
I like the 3.0s. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more power. I mean, it's awesome.
That's cool. That's way cool.
Well, it's got to be feeling pretty good right now. We're getting ready to start July, getting ready to get really busy. And you're 5 points out of the lead behind the perennial champ here. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, there's a long season left. We'll have to see. Got a big week coming up next week. We'll know better after that, I think.
Now, you're running now pretty much, I don't know if you guys divulge all that information, but you both have the same engine builder, the same engine program, right? You and Skylar?
No, Skylar's is an O'Brien engine. Mine's a Perkins.
Okay. Oh, no, yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, Skylar's O'Brien. You're Perkins. What Megatron is Perkins.
Yep.
Optimus is Perkins. I think Jesse Knight now, isn't he running Perkins?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been a rivalry in the class too. I mean, nationwide, really, the O'Brien Perkins thing, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that's well, the Perkins truck's doing pretty good out there, I think. I mean, both of them doing pretty good in their own right. But Skylar's got to look in his rearview mirror a little harder this year, I think. He's always got Megatron right there. Now he's got you've got yours up and going good, and shoot, even Emily Schaefer's running third. Then you got the Knights coming up. Jeremy Bales is running good. Then you couldn't help but notice that the Trailer Trends truck was back on the track the last couple of weekends.
Yeah,
that's cool to see him back in the fray also. So
yeah, when you
get a whole want to thank like here for your. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just say when you get a whole field like that too, because we've known that there's been about 3 or 4 at the top with Breheim, Leaper, and Wayman there for a while, just with a slugfest. And I was going to ask Evan, when you get the whole band together, kind of all you guys get together, like somewhere down there in Colbert, it's really anybody's game. Especially Jeremy Bales. I think he's another one. He's kind of an X factor. He can win at the drop of a hat. So this being, your first Outlaw win. Is it extra special that it comes against a stage as big as that? And when you've got all those competitors together, and I think Ron's right too, Emily Schaefer, she's improved a ton here lately. Tell us what it's like to beat all those guys all at once.
Yeah, it definitely felt good being that level of competition was there, because there is not much better than what was there. I mean, so it felt good being able to get by them at least once, but
sure.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good time.
No, I mean, you keep it up, man. You've got more wins in you this year. I think
I think so too.
Got your program running in the right direction here. Tell us how excited was the family when you got back to the pit area?
I think everybody else was more excited than I was. It was great. I mean, having everybody there and being able to see it. I mean, that was a great pull and great place to do it at.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that struck me too was talking to all the other pullers in your class was they were all really excited that you won down there. I mean, they were like, man, he deserved it. He deserved to win. I think they were all just as happy as you were.
Yeah, everybody's real supportive in that class. I mean, we might poke at each other and stuff, but we're all supportive with everybody. We want everybody to do good with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, man, anybody you want to thank out there to help you along the way?
Just my family. They're my biggest supporters, and Perkins Diesel for building me a great power plant. But
so where will we see you again here?
What is it? Is it Ottawa, I think?
Ottawa. Yeah, I was looking.
And then we're
in Concord on Wednesday night as well. You can pull 4 nights next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that whole run there.
That'd be a rough run. It'd be fun. That'd be a rough run for you guys, 4 nights in a row.
Yeah, luckily we got the pro stock with us, so we'll have those 3 nights in a row with it. So
what's on your agenda when you come back from Oklahoma? Because that's a long haul down there. You grab a victory, so you've pushed the truck hard. You've got a quick turnaround into the busiest week of pulling, where you're going to be pulling, 4 days consecutively, essentially. What kind of program do you have to put the No Limits truck on? I mean, or is it? Well, what do you got to do to get ready for the next round, basically?
Well, just kind of give it a visual look over. I'm going to check my clutch and just kind of give it a once over basically, and then we'll be heading out, I think.
Does it need do the diesels need less week to week attention than the gassers? I mean, will your dad be out there pulling plugs and pulling filters and everything? Which one is easier to get ready for the next pull?
The diesel's way less maintenance,
Really?
Yeah, the clutch is not as often having to adjust like with gas trucks. It's every pass. With gas trucks, you're checking your valves every pass. With mine, maybe every 10 passes, I'll look at it or something. Or the clutch would be about 5. I like to look at it just so it's the same and consistent is what I've been trying to do.
So when your dad gives you a hard time for jumping over to the dark side, as he's thrashing and getting ready and he's working between pulls, I want you to saunter over there with a cold Sprite in your hand and just kind of lean over and be like, "No Limits is ready." Just so you know, you might have to spin the narrative back on him a little bit sometime.
That's what I was telling him when we were running his valves and his clutch on Saturday morning. I was like, well, I'm ready to go. I don't know what we're doing.
I bet Dad is probably a little bit happy because Evan has more time to help Dad out get his truck ready.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's a positive.
Yeah.
Dad can take his time while he's doing his once overs after a run, and once Evan comes over, he's like, "Man, I'm really behind. Help me out." So see there it's confirmed, right?
Yep. Now I'm going to surmise too, based on the interactions that I've had. We talk about what you do and what Dad does, but I feel like here's the real manager of the whole operation. Does she keep you guys in line? Is she pretty hands-on? I know that she's your biggest fan, biggest supporter, that she loves what you guys do, but I imagine she kind of keeps it all tucked in correctly behind the scenes, right?
Oh yeah, my mom she's the one that makes sure that we are ready and we get our stuff on time, and she always reminds us to do things. She's just, it's just great that she's there and be able that much support with us.
Yeah, she loves pulling for sure.
Yeah.
So, how old are you, Evan?
Do what?
How old are you?
I'm 29.
And you've been pulling since what? You were 16?
Yeah. Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's in your blood, so you can't kick it now. It's in there. So
yeah.
So if you're just 29 years old, that tells me you have a long pulling career left ahead of you. Lots left to see and develop. And this question gets overplayed, but it's fun to ask anyway. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where do you see yourself pulling? Are you going to be a lifelonger in the 3.0 diesel trucks? Do you have a big end goal in a super stock diesel truck? Do you have some crazy ambition to get a mini rod? Where do you see your pulling career going over the next decades?
I would think it would probably stay with 3.0s. I would think.
Cool.
Just because if you're getting into the super stock diesels, you got to run long ways away. You got to go out east and stuff and run them down. But I like the 3.0 class right now. It's a good time.
Good. I like that answer. I think that's cool. I think it's a great class. I think from where it was in maybe 2005, 2010 to where we see that class now, you could argue that it is grown at a higher rate than any class in pulling history has. We've seen as many as 60 of you guys together at a single pull before. It's the fans love it. The pullers love it. It's a great class.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, we're going to let you go. If you want to say anything to anybody out there or thank anybody else, we'll give you a moment here to do so. And you've got the floor here for the next minute or two, as long as you want.
Yeah, I just like to thank my family. Everybody in my family. They're all supportive of it. And then Perkins Diesel. Them guys are awesome. If I need anything, I can call them anytime, and they'll help me out. It's been a real easy transition from the gas truck to the diesel, so that's been nice.
Well, I think it's cool because when you first did it, I thought, is this going to be just kind of a trial thing? Is he just going to try it and then, go back to a gasser? But it sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm hooked on it.
Awesome. Well, Evan, man, congratulations on the win Saturday night. It was good to see. Always enjoy talking with your family and you guys, and we look forward to seeing you next week on that 4-hook sweep up in Iowa, or Nebraska and Iowa. So Thanks for coming on the show, and congratulations once again, buddy.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep, you betcha.
Evan Breheim, winner of the Limited Pro Diesel Pickup Class this past Saturday night at Full Pull on the Turf in Colbert, Oklahoma. Man, it's that's good to see. Good to see. And he's only like 5 points out of the lead behind.
Yeah, and that's going to be fun to watch this year too. And boy, I tell you, Leaper coming down through there, and a walk-off win is a ton of fun, but sometimes just as fun is like the game-winning put out, basically the game-winning tackle at the end of the game. And that's got to be similar how they feel when a two-time defending point champion is in the midst of an awesome run, and you can't tell because that leader flag is right there with the sled, and then the numbers come in and you get him by a foot. I mean, that's a sweet, sweet way to walk away with a victory, because, means a lot more than, Leaper broke or Wayman missed a setup or something. Those heavy hitters were sending all the ammunition they had and just missed them. That's got to be a fun way to win one.
Well, it's cool to see the competition tightening up in that class too. Yeah. We always talk about it always goes down to Wayman and Leaper at the end of the year in Lufkin, Texas. Wouldn't that be cool to see 4 or 5 trucks in contention and going into the last 2 hooks of the season down there?
And I'm serious when I talk about Emily Schaefer. I think we would be remiss. Now, do I think that she is going to be pounding on the door for a points championship this year? Not necessarily, but I think she's a lot where I'd put my buddy Tanner Fitzsimmons. And you look at where she was maybe a year or 2 ago, and whether it be her driving or her truck or just her overall program, that truck is making gains. And not just like, oh, good for her, but like, we're going to see her grab a win before the year's over. She's right there too. So like you said, the whole class is getting together, and it's going to be fun to watch all these guys. I think Leaper is still kind of the heavy is the head that wears the crown. I think he's the one with the target on his back, but I don't think it's as much of a foregone conclusion as it's been. So it'll be neat to see what happens.
Yeah. To the pullers out there, the app is open, of course, for Seward, Nebraska this Friday night. And the app is also open for Rock Valley, all 3 sessions. Those are the only 2 pulls it's open for. The reason Rock Valley is open because it is such a large event. We approach 200 hooks there, and we want to get an idea of who's coming. So Seward, the app is open. Rock Valley, Thunder in the Valley, the app is open. So whenever you want to sign up, go on the app and get signed up whenever you'd like there. Next week, early next week, say Monday, Ottawa and
Concord.
I almost said Norfolk because it sounded like it. Will be open on Monday. Yeah, we were busy this weekend, Mike. Man, I tell you what, I need rest. You said you had a nap earlier, but man, we worked our tails off in Oklahoma.
So much fun, though. So much fun. I can't even tell everyone, from a fan's perspective, and I hope that the Wagers and everybody who put on that pull just knows from my personal experience, that's as much fun as I have had at a tractor pull. That was one of those that reminds you that you love what you're doing while you're doing what you love. I mean, we wanted for nothing. We got fed everything. The crowd was eating out of the palm of our hand. The pullers met the call. Fans said, we want to see an A-grade pull, and boy, they did it. And just everything was exactly as it should have been, but not for lack of work. Yeah, these pulls, to put these things on, people might not realize how much goes in behind the scenes and logistics of it. And the whole time driving back home, I was thinking about most places that do this have a fair board or a board of people. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 people that vote on decisions, and everyone has a role and delegates downward. This whole thing was essentially put on by one family. Not even essentially, just was. This whole thing was put on by one family. This was Lacey and Diana making decisions. And anytime anything went wrong, it wasn't like, oh, we'll call our sanitation guy or call our transportation guy or call our tech guy. It was call Lacey. And so we worked hard, but to him, I just say thank you, because what he did, very impressive, and what a blast that everybody had.
Yeah, I have to say that big thanks to not only Lacey, but Diana, the boys, Braxton and Caden. They were running around there working their butts off, and their employees were there.
Yes.
Everybody was super
absolutely.
nice, super cordial, and very helpful. I can't say anything bad about it. It was a good experience.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out too, just as a dad and a teacher, to Braxton and Caden. Boy, those are two boys that have been raised right. I mean, mannerly, professional, and they know how to work. We were out there at 2:00 in the morning, still kind of buttoning things up, and they come running over and they said, "Hey, Pop says whatever you guys need, we'll get it." And you told one of them, you were like, "Well, hey, we need your dad to come over with a loader, move this trailer." I don't know how old these kids are, 16, 17, 18, 19. They came zipping over there on a loader that I would have had no business driving, operated that thing better than half the operators in Missouri would, had us parked over there. These kids, they're workers. They've been raised right.
Yeah, can't say enough about them. Busy month coming up, folks. Wow, it's fixing to get crazy. It's Katie bar the door type stuff coming up. Of course, Seward, Nebraska this Friday. Next Wednesday, to kick off a big week. Wednesday in Concord, Thursday in Ottawa, Thursday in Rock Valley, Friday and Saturday in Rock Valley. The following week, we've got Lee, Nebraska, David City and Pawnee City, Nebraska, same night. Warrensburg, Missouri, which is coming up quick. The following week, July 23rd in Pierce, July 23rd, Taylorville, Illinois, Montgomery City, and Waterloo, Illinois. Those three right in a row there, that triple throwdown. Just today, added money, by the way, at that Montgomery City event. Promoter putting up some extra cash in all the outlaw classes. $5,550 they're pulling out and injecting into the purse of modified tractors, super modified two-wheel drives, pro
there
street
you
diesel,
go,
new stock tractors, and pro stock 4x4. So you're looking at, to win the modified tractor class, over $2,000, $2,075, $1,900 to the winner of pro stock, $1,800 to the winner of two-wheel drive, $1,200 to the winner of pro stock 4x4, $1,000 to the winner of pro street diesel pickups. Love it when promoters find a sponsor to inject some more funds, get some more money back in the pockets of the pullers. And it's a great event, a great series over there, those three hooks. Taylorville, Illinois, Montgomery City, Missouri, and then on to Waterloo, Illinois. Waterloo with added purse as well, $2,000 added to the mods, $2,000 added to pro stock, $500 added to two-wheel drive. Can't say enough about these promoters pulling out all the stops.
They are
to help these pullers. I love it. I love it.
Ron, for the past, I would say we spent a lot of time this last off season saying it really feels like there's a seismic shift going on in pulling, and it feels like we're right on the cusp of seeing we're as close to the glory days as we've been in a long time, back to the 80s and 90s. And we talk about, well, we as producers have to do this, and pullers have to do this, and fans have to do this. One thing that I've seen in a major way this year, and I've come to understand it more and more, and they need the thank you and the credit, are these promoters. The promoters are right here with us, and they're answering the call to finding these added sponsorships, throwing down to attract extra pullers. Everybody seems like the fuse is lit on truck and tractor pulling this year, namely outlaw truck and tractor pulling, as we love it. And they're pushing chips to the center of the table, and it's working. This is an exciting thing to be experiencing and pulling right now. So a big thank you to the promoters for stepping up and just believing in what's going on with this.
Yeah, and we're being open-minded as well about how we get more butts in the seats, how we get fresh eyes on the sport. I think it was mission accomplished this weekend as far as the folks in Oklahoma and at least North Texas. A lot of new eyes, a lot of new fans now that are pulling fans because of what we did down in Oklahoma. So yeah, we're doing our part. Promoters are doing their part. Chris Kilbarger, I agree. Pulling season's in full swing, and it's glorious. I love it. I love it. So I want to get back to that schedule. I don't want to leave anybody out in the month of July. Wayne, Nebraska, the Great Wayne County Fair, Friday, July 25th. Denison, Iowa, new pull for us on July 25th. Wednesday, the 29th of July, Britt, Iowa. The next night, Sac City. Scribner going on that same night as well. Scribner, Nebraska, Dodge County Fair. Mercer, Missouri on July 31st. Lamar's, Iowa on August 1st. And McLouth, Kansas on August 1st. Mountain City, Kansas, August 2nd. Just wanted to finish out the week. Don't want to dip too deep into August yet. But a lot of pulling coming up here, folks. So
is it crazy to you that we're already talking about Rock Valley? It felt like we went just full throttle. Like if our pulling schedule was a whole shot, it felt like we got a hold of the track and threw everything to the right immediately. I mean, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
We dumped the clutch, and we're rolling. Yeah.
It's Rock Valley coming up already. I mean, and that's not even to overlook anything in the meantime, because I think even some of our, local pulls have hit home runs this year. Just everything has been, people are doing a nice job. We're having fun, Ron. Pulling is fun.
Absolutely. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. So, Mike, thank you. Thanks, Evan Breheim. Thanks, Kirk Hain from Seward, Nebraska. Folks, look us up, outlawpulling.com. Download the Outlaw Pulling app. Check us out on Full Pull Live, the official live streaming channel of the Outlaws. If you can't make it to any of these hooks, we'll see you at Seward this Friday, Seward, Nebraska, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 on Outlawed Live. Thanks for tuning in.